Over the plot, I've been granted on this planet. Now it's slanted, cause the chosen been supplanted. But if you overstand it, it was spoken. Fractured, but we ain't broken. Even though some would rather play the role of token, we growing. Black through the essence of a presence. We carry the blood of gods, we carry the mind of peasants. Rich black gardens, future look more like Eden. Multiply seeds like the seed banks in Sweden. Rep my planners on plan according to season. B1 code, switching it up is treason. Black power, family what we eat. Either we get fed or we feed. B1AG.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. What is growing on? What is growing on? What is growing on? Welcome back to B1AG. Here at B1AG, we focus on Black agriculture as it pertains to agricultural production, education, marketing, health, food, nutrition, and economics for the Black family and the Black community. Welcome back to another episode. I'm John Henry Harris, and we also have Farmer Brown EMC. Before we get started, I would like to ask you all to like, share. Hey, subscribe to B1AG Daily Bread Podcast on YouTube. Let's push this algorithm. Let's make this a larger conversation. Our food system is going through a lot of changes and challenges, and we need to be abreast of what's going on so we can make healthy decisions when it comes to our food. Today's story, we're going to talk about Burger King. Now, growing up, you know, McDonald's has always been very famous, but I always loved Burger King. I always liked Burger King. The burgers off the broiler, flame broiled burgers. It just seemed that was more of a real meal to me. But Burger King, they recently just banned 120 artificial ingredients. Now it's 2021. And they're just now banning 120 ingredients, artificial ingredients, from their ingredients that they use in their food, and that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. Burger King bans 120 artificial ingredients. What the hell have we been eating? Farmer Brown, what say you?
First, I just like to say peace to the B1 family. Hope everybody's doing well. Telling of my age, I remember Burger Queen. That was like the McDowell's to the McDonald's, so to speak. But yeah, used to love Burger King. I haven't eaten there in years. As you start getting information, knowledge as far as, what's going on with fast food, you tend to, try to be a little bit more healthier. But I remember in one of my food safety courses, this is when I was doing my undergrad courses, that they were talking about how meticulous these fast food joints and many food vendors market. And so depending on where you're at, you notice if you're around a Burger King, you're going to smell it. They understand to put these plumes from the grill, up from the roof of the establishment. And you can smell it and it draws you. We're very sensory creatures. And so meaning if you smell something, it's going to make you hungry. If you see certain colors like yellow or red, it's going to stimulate your hunger. And so a lot of marketing has gone into what it is that we like and why we like it. And so we think about Burger King. I think that's a great example of how this marketing has worked. But when you brought this story to my attention about 120 ingredients that they're going to ban, my question is, well, what have we been eating? I guess it's honorable, not to be so negative. It's honorable that you now decide to address this. But what have we been eating, fam? And what does this mean moving into the future with everything going on? And what can we do about it to make sure? Because there's, thousands of other fast food chains that haven't made this commitment yet.
Now, I just want to give you a little background information on Burger King. Now, they were just banning these 120 artificial ingredients. Burger King serves 15.7 million customers each day, and over 2.4 billion burgers are sold each year across the globe through 11,455 locations in all 50 states and 56 countries. So they've been putting these ingredients that they're now banning into hundreds of billions, if not trillions of people since they've been open.
I just Googled something real quick. So in North America, 84.8 million Americans eat fast food every day. 84.8 million Americans eat fast food every day. Burger King is one.
Wow. You said 84.8 million?
Most Americans eat fast food 1 to 3 times a week. Statistics from a survey conducted by the National Center of Health Statistics from Center for Disease Control shows that a little over 1/3, 36% of adults in America eat fast food on any given day. That's about 84.8 million adults eating fast food every day. This is adults, and so it didn't include the kids.
And also, we know from earlier stories that 56% of Americans eat out 2 to 3 times a week. 10% of Americans eat out 4 to 6 times a week. And 6% of Americans eat out every day. And we're talking about out of 330 million people. So we're like over 115 million people eat out 2 to 3 times a week. That's a lot of people. We're talking about 8.8 million people eat fast food. Adults eat fast food every single day. What I would like to go into right now is just to show everyone, Burger King over the last year, they have made efforts. They said they wanted to cut down the preservatives that's in their food. Now, we've done a story before. We've shown how long it takes for certain fast food just to break down into mold. So in a effort to promote, we got real food, I just want to show you a quick video how Burger King is proudly saying how they have real food, and that their Whopper actually breaks down in molds in 32 days. You gotta check this out.
We did it again. Verizon has been named America's most reliable network by Root Metrics, and our customers rated us #1 for network quality in America, according to J.D. Power, proving there's only one best network.
Now, this is an actual Burger King commercial. Now, those are just the additives. So now we're talking about, they've actually cut down on the artificial ingredients And most of these artificial ingredients that they have gotten rid of, they're actually, most of them, they're like food colorings. There's 12 types of sodium and artificial trans fat.
So I had there's many of them, but I think it was 5 that I came across that were relatively peace, Brother Thaxton, interesting to me. So natural beef flavor, and so McDonald's, as well as other burger joints, world famous fries are made with natural beef flavor that contains hydrolyzed wheat and hydrolyzed milk. The corporation settled a group of lawsuits for labeling their fries as hash browns and vegetarian, although they were enhanced with beef from vegetable oil. The FDA, Food Drug Administration, outlines that any food labeled with the term natural flavoring means the essential oil heating enzymes which contains the flavoring should come from a variety of food products. And so what exactly is in this beef flavor? Potassium bromide. And so this additive is tossed into recipes to enhance texture and rise in flours. Animal studies found a possible link to cancerous tumors. Potassium bromide was banned in Canada, the UK, and the European Union, is yet and still reportedly found in sandwich buns and pizza doughs in the US. Propylene glycol. So this is a colorless compound that doesn't appear in nature and is used as an anti-caking agent, according to the FDA. These cause cancers. There's another one called TBHQ, and this is found in fast food restaurants, and it contains a preservative. Studies have shown that it leads to health complications, and it affects the lungs and breathing. These are just a few, but I think the family understands as we think about some of the mandates that have come down. Nothing is just isolated in a vacuum. Everything has an origin and a reason for why it exists. Once again, not to throw shade on Burger King, I think this is a great effort to at least address, what research has found to be a problem. But we still have to look at all of these underlying conditions, because we know these fast food joints are typically more prevalent in areas where we don't have grocery stores. We've discussed this more than a few times now, that the melanated family tends to live in these areas where our food supply is going to be these fast food joints. And so I think it's very interesting that the FDA of all organizations or agencies have approved these places to sell this food over decades. And then when we think to 2020, 2021, some of the pre-existing conditions that makes our group candidates and targets for, hey, we need to help you a little bit more. We need you to meet with Dr. Jabinski. Some of these additives that's gone into this food has actually caused this problem. And so once again, I think this does lend to a deeper discussion. Neither him or myself are medical experts, but I did learn how to read the master's language. And it says it flat out, hey, this causes this problem. Fast forward now, the problem you face, you have pre-existing conditions because of this. And so once again, tying this to Burger King and the thousands of other fast food joints and restaurants, what does this mean, family? If we're not growing, what is our alternative? Because the other 999 haven't committed to the same thing the Burger King has.
I know one of the banned artificial ingredients that's really stuck out with me is one called azotocarbonamide, or ADA. And this is widely used in yoga mats, in shoe rubber. It's been banned throughout the world because it causes respiratory problems, asthma, allergies, and is thought to be carcinogenic. So it causes cancer. What is this doing in the food? And that ADA, it was actually banned banned by a Subway back in 2014. So they've known that this is a deadly ingredient at least since 2014, because Subway banned it then. But it's still something that Burger King up until now has used in their food in an effort to bring you real food.
calcium sulfite. And so this is something that we find in our dough baked goods. And so a version of this ingredient is added to production products. It's not production, but construction products, drywall. So you're eating something that's used for drywall and construction in your dough, in your buns, in those rolls. I wish I could say we were making this up, family. Because once again, those labelings, you know, everything's in the fine print. And if you can't read it, somebody said if you can't read it, you might not want to eat it.
That's real, because I mean the list, the names of these ingredients that are banned, they are like this long. You know, a bunch of consonants. You know, maybe a vowel here and there thrown in there. But there's a lot of phosphates and bromates and meticolides, and you know what I'm saying? It's some very scientific words. Very scientific words. It's not like simple words like wheat, flour, you know, water, you know, this, you know, real things, real elements that we're used to eating and we know is safe for us to consume and digest.
I got one for you before we go into the solutions, because here at B1AG, you know, this is ultimately about solutions. You know, we like to lay out what's going on, and it's very disturbing. We like, and you know, I had that plastic face right now because it's frustrating, because we are aware that we live on a planet that produces natural food. And so one would say, okay, the alternative to all of these unnatural ingredients that we're putting in our food, just go organic. That's become like the magical word as of the last, I would say, 10 years. But I just came across an article, and it was saying fake organic food from China is on the rise and flooding U.S. store shelves. And this was just this week this came out. And so according to a 2017 report found in Food Safety News, up to 80% of organic food eaten in the U.S. is imported from China and Turkey, two of the countries becoming popular for growing and exporting organic produce. 80% of what we're calling organic, what we see as the alternative to going to fast food. It comes to a thing, it's an either or. And when, okay, on one end, we got all of these unnatural ingredients, and on the other, you told me that organic is what's going to be the solution, but 80% of what we're getting that's classified as organic is coming from China. What does that mean? So once again, I know the FDA has been in the news for the last few weeks, approving, Comirnaty as, you know, Dr. Jabinski's medicine of choice, so to speak. They approved a lot of these things that we're talking about, but China doesn't have an FDA, meaning that their quality or standards of determining if something is healthy for human consumption isn't the same. The lack of regulation, which Beijing-based government of China is just starting to implement right now, has caused rampant air and water pollution in this country. Studies have shown at least 40% of the rivers are polluted, as well as 90% of the groundwater. Another report states that 1/5 of China's farmland is polluted. China's farmland, we're talking about rice. You know, I have elders in my family that take medicines. A lot of medicines come from China. When it comes to our seafood, so more than 80% of the seafood that people eat is cheaper to produce in China. And, you know, these are numbers that's coming out. Once again, when truth is brought to your attention, this isn't Farmer Brown bringing the truth. I'm just simply reading what has been reported. And so it's left to the family, like, okay, are we going to be distracted by all of these things that stoke our emotions, or are we going to look at the facts that's being brought to us? Because the magic only works when you're honest. And all of these factions that we speak of are being honest about what's going on. When we think about this organic issue of, okay, if 80% of what I'm eating is organic, is coming from somewhere else, what is the other solution? It's growing your own food.
And it seems at this day and time, in this age we live in, it seems like it's the safest thing to do. Like it's almost like it's the safest thing to do. I say on this platform, I say it all the time that food is medicine. When I say food is medicine, I mean like real lettuce, real produce, real fruits and vegetables. You know, they are medicines. These are where medicines get their active ingredients from. It's from food and flowers and herbs. You know, this food is medicine. But this fast food that 84.8 adult Americans eat every day is poison. It's not medicine. It's poison. And we have to get back to growing our own food. We have to get back to eating real food. Now, Burger King, they're promoting this as getting back to real food. And they're even, getting celebrities to promote this new food by using their real names, like Nelly. His real name is Cornell Haynes Jr. So he have a Cornell Haynes Jr. meal, to trying to show how real they are. But they have not been real for so long. Trillions of people have been eating this fake stuff. Trillions of people have been eating drywall. And we're talking about pre-existing conditions. I always heard an apple a day keeps the doctor away. I'd rather have those pre-existing conditions keeping the doctor away from eating fresh fruits, vegetables, real food, real food.
Let's look at the economic impact of this. And so one of the reasons we have preservatives in food, this is playing devil's advocate, is I'm growing this, I'm producing this in location A. It's going to take a week to get it to the location where I'm going to sell it. And so I need to store it somehow. I know you don't want your banana looking all brown and shriveled. I know you don't want your apples, your fruits to be all shriveled. I know you don't want your burgers, or whatever food you're eating is frozen, to look nasty. And so that's why preservatives are put into it. But at the end of it, every day that it's shipped is losing a little bit of nutrient. And so this is why a lot of these ingredients are added. We've become a people, not just here in North America, but around the world. We like our food to taste a certain way. At the end of the day, I can't speak for the Most High, but I understand the Most High created food for us to energize ourselves. I imagine, my cell phone, there isn't a specific taste of what that electricity that goes into it charges. It just knows I'm taking this electricity so I can work. Our bodies are the same way. We eat to recharge, but it's very marketable if this electricity tastes good. It's salty. It's real sweet. And so once again, there's a science behind what'll make me pick a McDonald's burger versus KFC or versus Burger King. There's a lot of science that goes into people's taste palette. The KFC here in Kentucky is going to, though it's going to have a chicken dinner, it's going to be very different in China. It's going to be very different in India, very different in South America, because there are scientists. There are scientists that go and test people and research. They research this more than Dr. Jabinski's medicine. Research, what do these people's taste palette prefer? And these are the ingredients, or this is the degree or ratio of ingredients I'm going to put in these meals so I can get more of you to buy it. 84 million of you to buy this. When we have this conversation at B1AG about these are fields of study. These are legitimate fields of study when we think about what are some areas of human activity that we can get our kids engaged in. Because I guarantee you 99% of the people who are making this decision doing the research aren't melanated people, especially in North America. And I wouldn't say it's necessarily out of racism, more so than a lot of us fall into being cool with being consumers versus getting on the production end of things, versus getting on the scientific end of things. Scientists aren't like the wild-haired Albert Einstein looking people. A scientist is anybody that identifies a problem and picks it apart. And, once again, this is something that the community has to say, hey, son, hey, daughter, this is important. Maybe you don't want to go out here and grow, but I need you to understand the chemicals. I need you to understand the ingredients. I need you to understand the processes of how we're getting this food that we're eating. I'm a proponent of just growing the food, definitely. Growing it where you're at. You know exactly what you've used. You can make compost from natural ingredients. just some of the waste from what you're absolutely. It elicits emotional reactions. They tap it. I'm gonna tell you how deep the rabbit hole goes. I learned this in one of my psychology courses. And so you think about your prom night. Those of us that are, we've gone to prom. There's certain smells. Your prom date had a certain type of perfume on. And then there were certain songs that were played during that night. Anytime you hear either that song or smell that smell, it's going to take your mind back to that pleasurable moment. Right? It triggers. Our brains are like the first master computers that were ever created. And so it remembers these pleasurable moments. I remember this perfume that my beautiful prom date had. Bam, I remember this song. Ooh, Nelly's song, since you brought up Nelly. A lot of people remember that song. These beats have nostalgic instrumentals. And so it triggers an emotional reaction. Food the same way. That goes back to what I was saying about Burger King putting them plumes of smoke out. That smells good. You're riding along in traffic, and you smell the smell. It's gonna make your mind, that dopamine, start going crazy. I remember last time I smelled that smell and went closer to this building that had this big old colorful sign up. I had a positive experience. It only lasted for a couple minutes, however long it took for me to eat my combo meal. I'm going to get that dopamine. I'm going to get that instant gratification, then go about my day. And the food is designed just like our smart devices. I'm only going to feed you enough to keep you wanting to come back for more. This is where capitalism comes in. So once again, you can't really say it's nefarious more than these businesses are competitive. If I'm a food chain, I want more people to buy my food than the person that's across the street from me. So let me go to these scientists. Let me go to these psychologists and see. And because, Americans, we love the taste. We love our food to just taste so salty and sweet and bitter, or whatever these taste configurations. They're going to incorporate this in their business model. And so once again, it's not for me as the individual to get mad at the corporation or the business for doing what they're doing to compete. But I have a choice of whether or not I'm going to take it upon myself to learn how to grow some of my own food. That is a choice that we can make. Am I saying that, okay, hey, 84 million Americans, just stop eating fast food, stop eating at restaurants and just grow your own food at the house? I know that is logistically impossible. Not everybody, many of us don't live in a space where we can grow our own food, right? Everybody, you're not going to wake up tomorrow, even if you resonate with what we're saying, and suddenly gain a green thumb. But what we do have the opportunity to do is learn from those who are already growing. Take the time out to meet those that are growing already. Take the time out to read some of these labels. And like I said, if you can't read it, you might not want to eat it. This is time to learn something new. We're in a space and environment where a lot of things are going to change in the next couple of days, in about 75 days for a lot of people. And so this is the perfect excuse to really revisit our food security, really revisit what our food sources look like. Can I have more power in what I'm eating? Maybe I'm in an apartment, but hey, I know about 10 other people in my complex that have this same concern about, now what are we eating? So can I allocate my balcony space for one thing? You allocate yours for another? Can I revisit? Can I check out some of Lead Farmer's information? Can I check out some of B1AG? Can I check out Goo What It Do, Ron Finley? Can I check out some of this information and see what I can do indoors in a container? Can I check out the Homestead Heart and see what they're doing with their 1 acre, their 2 acres? So the information around us is available to address this. Like I said, I commend Burger King. I'm probably not ever going to go there again, but I commend them for at least stepping up and saying, hey, we've been adding 120 artificial ingredients to our food. We want to change it. I commend the effort, but we're in a time and space where you can't take it back. Once I've slapped you, once I've cut you, once I've ruptured your skin, no matter what I say, I can say, oh, I'm sorry. I could kiss your toes. Pray to God, forgive me, but that's not going to uncut you. What you've eaten indelibly changes you. What we take into our body indelibly changes us. Food, it works the same way. And so once again, moving forward, what are the areas of power we have? And that the area of power is planting a seed.
And that's what we really promote here. And not only do we promote planting the seed, again, we also promote people that are doing this already. And we'd like to share with you a lot of other content creators that are doing this work as well. You got Black growers, Black preppers, and other Black organizations across Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, as well as some websites that you all need to really check out. Try to make it bigger on your screen. Take away that, because these people will give you so much knowledge of information that will definitely help you out. On Facebook, you got Bread and Butter Farms, Sun Joined Hemp Group, Black Outdoorsmen, Black-Owned Farms, Federation of Southern Cooperatives, Black Ag Entrepreneurs of America, National Black Food and Justice Alliance, Black Farmers Nationwide, Black Farmers and Agricultural Association, Detroit Black Community Food Security Network. On Instagram, you got Black Farmers Network, Black Farms and Homestead, National Black Farmers Association. On YouTube, Homestead Heart. That's a husband and wife duo. Great content. They do a lot of canning as well as growing, and giving you a lot of tips on how to grow, harvest, and can your food to make sure that you yourself is food secure, but you also have food stored up. Lead Farmer 73. He's more of a Black prepper, but he does a lot of gardening and farming as well. But again, he's teaching you how to be self-sufficient. Gardening with Goo. Doesn't look like your average gardener or farmer at all. He really looks like a rapper. You know, it looks more like a rapper, but he's very entertaining, and he's definitely going hard in the garden. Ron Finley Project. You know, you're talking about an urban gardener, urban farmer. Ron Finley is that guy. Pastor Dowell, another great content. In these websites, shopblack.us. They have a list of probably one of the more comprehensive lists of all the Black farmers in this country. You know, it's probably the most comprehensive list you're going to find anywhere. bfarmershub.com, safan.com, and betterbuggy.com. Betterbuggy.com is a group of Black farmers that you can actually order fresh produce, get you a CSA box, a CSA share, community shared agriculture box, fresh fruits and produce sent to your door. Just like Amazon, like we were used to ordering Amazon and doing DoorDash, you can order fresh produce to come to your door from the hands of Black farmers. Now, I know you're probably not going to remember all these names, but we did make a graphic. We wrote them out. Go back, listen to it, write them down, look at these names, and use them. Use these resources. Educate yourself. Find out where these Black farmers are, where this information is, and make it a part of your daily life.
And family, there's so many more brothers and sisters and organizations putting in this work. These are just a few that we're tapped into. These are people we respect and glean information from. And literally, as above, so below, everything starts with the seed. Once you put that seed of intent that I want to know more and I want to meet people involved in this field, that's how it happens. I remember when I first got into the journey, doing Farmer Brown MC back in 2015. I didn't know any black farmers. It was new to me. It was brought to my attention how little representation black farmers had. And it was 2% when I first started this journey. It's now down to 1.4%. But I had a very intentional intent on meeting farmers to really understand what's going on. And from there, I easily know about 60 black farmers now. And black farmers aren't highly promoted. And so once again, when we bring these names up, these are just a few of the many that we don't see. And so anytime, we like to uplift celebrities, we like to uplift, people, online characters, but the farmers, outside of the aesthetics of it, outside of the romanticism, these people need to be highlighted as heroes in our community. Our children respect, they don't, I saw a meme the other day, our kids aren't going to listen to what we say, they're going to watch what we do. And so going into this unsure future that I'm not going to say unsure, I know what's going to happen, we're going to win it. But a part of this win is going to be connecting with the producers, not only the ones who have already been doing this work, but these are the people who are going to teach those that want to get into this work and carry it on. We're in our finest hour, family, and the seeds to produce this yield of beautiful, productive black folks, they already exist. It's just a matter of planting these seeds. Are we going to plant them in our minds? Are we going to plant them in our homes? Are we going to plant them in our children's minds?
And plant is what we need to do because they've banned 120 artificial ingredients. How many more ingredients have they not banned that are there still in the food? And this is just Burger King. There are thousands of fast food restaurants. There's only a few with a no-no list. Burger King is like maybe one of 5 or 4 chains with a no-no list. One thing for sure, unless you have an allergy, a natural allergy or something like that, food, produce, fruits and vegetables are not going to hurt you. If anything, they're going to help you. And that's where we need to get back to the garden, get back to eating real food. They're still promoting Burger King. Burger King is still promoting this as getting back to real food. They still have a long ways to go, family. Still got a long ways to go. So, Farmer Brown, Burger King, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like, I can still smell, like when they used to char flame broil them burgers, I can smell it, bro. I can smell it right now. And it makes my mouth water. And they don't even, and I haven't seen a flame broiled Burger King in so long. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even know if they still flame broil the Burger Kings anymore. There may be a few left sparse across the country, but I can still smell it, and it still makes my mouth water right now as if I'm smelling it, bro. But you know what? Nothing makes my mouth water more than remembering like my grandmother and my mother's cooking. Eating that real food. You know what I'm saying? Real food. Not something they're saying is air quote real food. I'm talking about real food without the air quote. So, Farmer Brown, if the people really want to know something about some real food, not real food, but know something about real food, what do they need to do, bro?
The family really want to know something. Prince in the mud. Let's learn how to grow something.
I'd like to thank y'all for watching another episode. Remember, like, share, subscribe. Let's make this a bigger conversation. We're giving you a lot of good information. We need to spread this across the nation. You know what I'm saying? We need to let our kids know. that there is another route that they can go so they can grow mentally, grow physically, grow financially, all around the board. Just get your grow on. Until next time, I'm John Henry Harris. We have Farmer Brian MC. Catch you in the garden. Peace.